Today we're gonna talk about best weapons in every game mode. I didn't have any ideas what to say in the beginning, so let's not waste any second and just start. Let's start from the most interesting, 5 vs 5 and 2 vs 2, or how I call it by myself, normal PvP. And one of the best weapons in this game mode is MK18. In general, this is the best weapon in this game mode, higher PM and really good time to kill. Recoil is not that hard, fastest partial reload among primaries, and access to increased magazines. Also, it has good range and velocity, which is more than enough for this game mode. Would recommend it to all players, no matter if you're experienced or a new player. HK, the most expensive weapon in this video, almost the same as MK18 but with some differences. It has a little bit faster RPM, but difference in time to kill between these two weapons is too miserable. Meanwhile, it has slow partial reload, worse recoil, and it doesn't have access to increased magazines. But anyway, HK deserves to be one of the best weapons. If you want to know about these two weapons in detail, check my previous video. Next is MP5, really great SMG, has pretty good velocity and range, which will be enough for normal PvP, one of the fastest time to kills. Compared to HK and MK18, it has a slow fire rate, but in the same time it needs only 5 bullets in arms, when those two need 6. Pretty low recoil and also slow reload. I would recommend it to all players. P90, fastest RPM and one of the fastest time to kills. Needs same 6 bullets in arms as most of the weapons in this game, but also it needs 2 bullets in head. Good velocity and range, pretty low recoil, and the slowest partial reload in SMG class. But it's compensated with its big mag, which has 50 bullets. Would recommend it to all players as well. And now we're moving to more specific but really great weapons at the same time. SR3M, it's pretty close to MP5, but it has some differences. Compared to MP5, it needs same 5 bullets in arms, but it has much higher PM. A little bit slow partial reload, worse velocity and range. The velocity and range it has is pretty enough for this game mode, but in some cases, because of low bullet velocity, you may need to shoot higher. For example, when you're shooting across the street on Tokyo. But mostly it's not a big problem. And another thing, it has one of the highest overall recoils in this game, so I wouldn't recommend it to new players or players who have problems with recoil control. And the last weapon for this game mode is FAL. One of the highest time to kills and one of the fastest partial reloads. Even though it has pretty slow RPM, it needs only 4 bullets in arms for kill. It has pretty big weight, but it's not a big deal since weight doesn't decrease your speed that much as before. One of the highest recoil, but I wouldn't say that it's pretty hard to control. The last bad thing about this weapon is that it has pretty low ammo reserve compared to most of the weapons. But it's not really a big issue, at least if you don't pre-fire every second. Definitely wouldn't recommend it to new players or who have problems with recoil control. Now let's move to the skirmish game mode. In this game mode, bullet velocity will be the most important thing, because most of the time you will have to shoot on long distances. And basically there is only one best weapon, because other two weapons are exclusive. So first weapon which can be bought by every player is AUG A3. And reason why it's the best is pretty simple, it has the highest bullet velocity among auto weapons. Also it has pretty good RPM and medium recoil, really great weapon for this game mode. Next we have two exclusive weapons. First is AUG A1. Basically it's the same weapon as A3, the only difference is that you can't remove scopes that it has, and that A1 version has much lower recoil, which makes it really comfortable for spraying on long distances. To be honest, I don't know why it has low recoil. In one patch developers nerfed AUG A3, but they didn't do the same thing with A1 for some reason. And because of that, A1 version seems better than A3. And the last weapon is C7A2. With fixed stock it has almost the same overall recoil as AUG A1. It has a little bit worse bullet velocity, but higher PM in the same time, so it's a great alternative to AUG. That's all for skirmish game mode, and I think someone would ask why I didn't put M4 here, and it's pretty simple, it just has worse bullet velocity. But looking at numbers, you may say that it's not really a big difference, but in practice it is. Especially if we combine it with pretty bad hit registration and when someone is strafing. You can really feel that difference. And personally, I had much better experience with AUG than with M4. And the last game mode is Open World. In Open World, bullet velocity is pretty important thing as well. And again, especially if bots are strafing. I think it's a really common issue for most of the Open World players. So we have the same 3 weapons as in skirmish, but compared to skirmish, bullet velocity is not that important. Because most of the time you will be fighting against bots on medium and long ranges. So it will be complete crime if I didn't include M4 in this top. Even though it has worse bullet velocity and range compared to those 3 weapons, it's more than enough for Open World. And also compared with the same 3 weapons, it has higher RPM, which makes it more deadly against groups of bots. Overall, I would say that M4 is the best in this game mode. It has great range and bullet velocity and really good RPM at the same time. And bonus part in this video, what's the best weapon overall? For example, you may be a new player, or you just don't have much money and you would like to buy only one weapon which you can use in all game modes. And this weapon definitely is M4. Skirmish is really good weapon for long distances. If those 3 weapons didn't exist in this game, M4 would be one of the best weapons in skirmish. I have already said everything about this weapon in skirmish and open world, so let's move to normal PvP. As I said before, it has pretty good RPM, which is enough for this game mode. Surely it's not the best weapon, but it's still a really great weapon to play with. Basically it's the same MK18 but with slower fire rate. It has same reload speed, access to increased max, and because of lower fire rate, it's easier to control recoil. And the best thing about this weapon is it's really cheap. You can buy this weapon right in the store. And that's all for today. I'm trying to make such videos not too long, so you would get the most needed information in a short period of time and wouldn't fall asleep while watching them. But if you need some detailed videos about weapons or other things, you can ask for it in comments. If you found this video useful, leave a like and some comment. Both of the things really help with promotion of this video. Join my Discord server, which has tier list and builds for all weapons and game modes, and see you next time.